Hello and welcome to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the show where all you need is a dream. Today's guest is Simon Rathbone. He's from Queensland, Australia, and is a Sorare manager.
Oh, I'm really sorry, man. Oh, that's so sad.
From a big hand, he goes away with absolutely nothing.
I tell you what, Alistair, it's good to be back because it's been probably a couple of months since our last episode. I haven't spoken to you since. No communication between the two of us, so it is good to have the pod back so we can finally have our weekly catch ups. You know, I've missed you, buddy.
I missed you too, mate. I missed you too. It's lots has been happening. I've started wearing a hat so I can grow my hair out again. So that's pretty much been my life for the last couple of months. What about you?
Oh, just jetting around Australia, living out childhood dreams, finding fulfillment in other aspects of my life that aren't Web3 fantasy platforms. So it's been pretty good, to be honest. It's been quite refreshing. What's the go with the hair change? You're not going to keep the short back and sides, business at the front, business at the back kind of operation?
No, look, I'm looking to incorporate a little bit more party into my head. I've been watching shows like The Bear, and I see, Chef Kami there with his luscious curly locks, and I'm like, he's a really handsome guy. Maybe I should try and look like him. So that's the plan. I'm sure that everyone just thinks that I'm going bald because I'm wearing a hat all the time, but I've been there before. I've done this. I mean, you've done it recently. You've grown your hair out, and you've been through the pain that is trying to get through that awkward stage. I mean, some could say you're still in the awkward stage. You're forever in the awkward stage. But that's just how you choose to live your life. So yeah, a couple of months more of this hat on, and then I'm just going to take it off one day on the pod, and it's just going to be like Fabio golden locks. It's going to be great.
I just want to jump on the defensive a little bit here, Alistair, because when I have my hair super long, it makes me look really short. Because look, anyway, we've got to keep moving on. But I will say this: I was talking to my mates the other day. I actually obviously my Sorare name is Diesel, right? My mates from Melbourne call me Diesel, Simo. I get Psy. Some of the players call me Wrath. But a new nickname that I've got, and I'm kind of digging it, is the CEO of the club. So Big Dog has just started calling me Heath Ledger because he reckons I look like Heath Ledger.
There you go.
So
Dead
the
genius.
nickname Heath has been going around the office, and
Heath.
I feel like there's worse comparisons.
Yeah, you got to start going by the Dark Knight. Guys, call me
That's
the Dark
my name
Knight,
in the bedroom.
The ladies call me the Dark Knight.
The ladies call me the Dark Knight. Trust me.
I mean, I think everyone who's been, all of our faithful fans out there have probably been wondering how the mustache game is going. Obviously, it's going strong. How has the world reacted to Mustache Simon? Is it going well? How does it go down with the ladies?
I think it goes down well. I think girls like a dirty mo. They like a dirty stash. I've got pretty red, rosy cheeks, so I think it just reminds them that no, I'm not an 18-year-old boy. I'm a man. A man who makes adult decisions.
So you scrapped the long hair because it made you look like a hobbit, and you've introduced the mustache, and now you're Heath Ledger. So I'd say that's an improvement, definitely. Reckon they called you Frodo Baggins around the office?
Like a lot of greats, though, when you reach high heights, people are going to try and bring you down. I have had some, you look like a pedophile. Did they let you in school zones? Mustache wanker. All the kind of phrases that you hear around the schoolyard. But you just got to keep pursuing and keep persisting. And I guess my fragile and very insecure personality, when I do get those little tastes of compliments, or someone will be like, "Oh, mustaches look cool," I'll take that on board. They're referring to me.
You're choosing to focus on the positive.
Boost me up a little bit, which is nice.
Yeah. And I mean,
exactly.
I mean, that school thing was totally unrelated to the mustache. That was a totally different issue.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. We're not legally allowed to talk about that anymore, but it had nothing to do with the mustache.
Legally, we have
don't worry.
to move on. We do have to move on. We're about 1 minute into the new season of the pod. I've already got to rechange my lighting. I'm getting some
I was going to say
golden hour vibes over here.
I like the golden hour vibes.
You like it?
I was just going to say, you just turned into Tequila Sunrise, sitting on a beach in El Salvador vibes all of a sudden. Like you got the Croatia top on, you got the mustache, the Heath Ledger hairdos flowing. I'm liking it. Kudos to the sun for moving in such a way to make you look the way you look right now.
Well, I'll take it because this season I've upgraded, got a new work laptop. It's a big flash, super quick Mac. Long gone are the old Windows days. So we've got great bandwidth. I've got great internet connectivity. But all I can see now on my big screen is my big shiny forehead. So I don't know, but it's okay.
HD forehead, it'll get you.
All in 4K, but we move.
I love it.
Okay, I'm going to move it.
Oh no, the sunshine vibes are gone.
No more shiny forehead.
Back to the dark basement. All right, man. Well, look, we've got lots to catch up on. Yeah. I mean, I had a kid recently as well. That the hair thing's probably been my priority,
yes.
But the kid thing has been a pretty big shift, I suppose you could say. Fatherhood vibes, dad vibes.
Yeah,
#dad life.
So what? Yeah, how are you finding the change? Like, how sometimes when athletes have a kid, they say it takes their game to a new level. Are you just winning all the time now?
Well, it's funny you say that. So just 2 days after said child was born, came into the world, it's a big moment in a man's life. Got the call, Wednesday night soccer. We're down a man, Alistair, you playing? I know you just had a kid, but we need you. Sure enough, I rose to the occasion. I didn't have the kid. No, exactly. It's a two-person game. So left the kid at home. Big development in my soccer life now, Simon. I've hung up the boots as the golden boot scoring machine that I was. I'm now our first choice keeper snapped his Achilles taking a goal kick. So I selflessly put myself in net, somewhat selfishly in that I think everyone thinks they're going to be good at goalkeeper. But let's just say there's been some error leads to goals. There's been some negative decisives on my part. But first clean sheet. I got my first 60.
It is harder than it looks.
I got my first, green score last week. I will say that it was very much like a Ter Stegen like 60, 63 with a little bit of AA. A lot of goal kicks with lost possession, not a lot of saves. I'll take that, but it was the clean sheet, and that's all that matters. Maybe a good high claim or two, but yeah, not a lot of AA on my part, unfortunately. Yeah.
Were you just going like little short passes to the back line to make sure you got that direct pass, or were you risking it for the accurate long ball?
I was just terrified of
that shit long.
Yeah, get it the fuck away from me. I'm not risking. Someone passed it back to me the other day, and I just booted it out and like started screaming at him. I was like, "What are you doing? I can't deal with this kind of pressure. Fuck off."
In your mind, you're playing volleyball. Anytime it gets in your bit of the court, you just boot it back over the net.
Yeah, I mean, my score sheet is just like 60, 60, 60, the odd like 10, 5, the odd 0 maybe. I might the odd 0. No, I haven't conceded 3 yet. That's just embarrassing. But so yeah, to answer your question,
right.
I guess since my child has been born, 1 clean sheet, not bad. It's pretty good.
Right. Okay. It is interesting though, Alistair, because you did talk up your goal scoring ability, and it's not very often the golden boot is normally the next in line to fill in the role of goalkeeper. We've seen in the Champions League, Kyle Walker, the right back, stepping in. It would have been a bit more of a sight if Haaland took the gloves. So it is an interesting development.
Big unit in there. I reckon he'd stop a few. Yeah. Look, the golden boot. I got to say, the golden boot weighed heavily on my head. Golden Boot winner 2 years in a row. This year, not quite hitting the heights. We also brought in another striker who scored about 38 goals. So I think I took the goalkeeper opportunity as my moment to just like, hey, look, I'll take one for the team here. But really, I was just covering myself for the inevitable whispers behind my back about is he ever going to replicate that form of a few years ago? Is he washed? But if you're in goal, no one can blame you for not scoring hat tricks.
This is true. So basically your Sorare card chart would be the nice 2021 peak, and then you're now Gaisi Zardes. That's pretty much your career trajectory.
I'm Zardes in net, yeah, for sure. Oh dear.
Maybe that's
but yeah,
next.
man, look, Dad life has been interesting. It's, I mean, as any dads out there will attest to, there's a fly in here. I'm gonna have to go Rambo on this fly at some point. All right. As any dads can attest to, it's, the first week or so of life is pretty much just like a constant treadmill of trying to keep up with a screaming tiny demon, an adorable tiny demon. That pretty much just sleeps and then wakes up and starts screaming. You got too much sunset, mate. Too much sunset. You haven't a nightmare with that sun over there.
It's too much. I'm sorry, I can't find a happy medium. It's
Can
either
you control
like
your
an
celestial
or I'm in darkness.
Simon's having a celestial nightmare over there.
It's either this or that. I've got nothing. The Dark Knight.
Oh no! Yeah, the Dark Knight's always in the dark. I was born in the dark. No, that's not the Dark Knight. That's a different character, totally. Look, mate. I mean, I'll take you whether you're completely white by a blinding sun or in the shadows, lurking with your moustache outside of school again. Either way, I'm happy. I'm just happy to see your face.
Sorry, I interrupted you. How is the Parenthood? Please continue.
Parenthood's good. It's priorities change, as you know. I would now say that my most, apart from obviously setting my Sorare lineups, putting out my Cap 240 Super Air team and trying to hit that lower threshold, pretty much my life revolves around milk now, which is pretty wild. Who'd have thought milk would be such a big part of my brain? How many meals we got? We got enough for the nighttime feed. Is she gonna wake up at 2 or is she gonna wake up at 4? Like, it's all about the milk, baby. So we've pretty much just been. That's pretty much been my life. I mean, we've been hallucinating a little bit, seeing the odd ghost around the place. Sleep deprivation is real. Getting kind of fat, getting my dad bod going, just eating things like, lasagna at 3 a.m. and stuff. It's not, it's terrible for my physique, for my figure. Thank God it's winter here and I don't have to go out on the beach and just embarrass myself in front of everyone, my pale, fat lasagna body. So, there's pros and cons. Does that answer your question?
It does. Sorry, I just lost you for a second. But it's interesting that it's only taken 1 and a bit weeks for the dad bod to kick in. I've got a question that's been burning on my brain. The child's name, why is it Sho Sasaki? Can you explain?
We wanted something. We wanted something inspirational. We wanted something, exotic. She wanted to go with Rosalia Bella Lolo, but I said no. I think we should go for something a little bit more traditional, like Sho Sasaki. And she was on board with it. I haven't mentioned to her that Sho Sasaki is completely dust now, and that will forever taint my relationship with our daughter. Also didn't mention to her that Sho Sasaki is a man and that we're naming after a 38-year-old Japanese left back. But yeah, look, I'm happy with it. Little Sho Sasaki Rathbone. Couldn't be more pleased.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. With Sho, I do have a bit of that. Does need to bring some things up. Obviously, we haven't really been finger on the pulse in the Sorare world a lot, but it has been reignited. Due to a new transfer to Sho's team, which does have me a little bit excited.
You have some inside goss. Simon was Fabrizio Romano for 3 minutes the other day on the Sorare Discord.
It was awesome. It was interesting though, because I did put some misinformation out there initially. So basically, Tolgay Arslan was playing at Melbourne City, and Melbourne City season finished. He was leaving for some reason, and then he went and just trained with my housemate's second division club just to keep himself fit. And my housemate is the strength and conditioning coach. And at said training session, my housemate said, "Tolgay, my brother, where are you heading off to?" And he said, "Oh, can't really say. It's, legal battle, blah, blah, blah. Maybe back overseas, maybe Germany." Anyway, someone reached out in Discord. Diesel, 88. Know where Tolgay Arslan's going? And I said, well, have heard potentially back to Germany. Um, then had to bury that deep within the Discord chat because I found out like a week later when my housemate had a one-on-one strength and conditioning session with Tolgay Arslan, found out that he was in fact going to the J League. So for once, here I was with some valuable information. I knew of a transfer before Fabrizio Romano, and I did nothing about it. I didn't buy his card, didn't get in before the peak, before the jump.
Oh, mate, you absolutely spilt the bucket on that one, mate. Come on, you should have been buying uniques, super rares, all the. You should have been like. Have you seen the guy today that bought like 180 Remco Pasveers because Remco Pasveer at the age of 41 is now going back to be the lead goalkeeper for Ajax? Come on, Simon. You've let the team down here. This is your one chance to be like a market manipulator. You know, your friend's got some inside knowledge. You gave him a hell of a rub down. He's broken the NDA. He's leaked the juice. He's going to the lovely little town of Sanfrecce in Japan. You disappointed me.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, I mean, I guess you could say I was a little bit gun-shy given I guess I've been burnt in the past of buying players due to suspected transfers, aka the infamous Danny Vukovic saga, who officially, I think during the break, hung up the boots, which, dead. Really, the dream is officially dead unless he makes a miraculous recovery, comes out of retirement, which is in the realms of possibility.
Stranger things have happened.
So I guess I was a little bit hesitant to have another DNF. What do you call them? Not playing player sit in my gallery.
DNF, man, you have not played Sorare for a while. A DNF,
a double fault.
Yeah, did not finish.
Yeah, let's go with that. But it's interesting because then on the flip side, like, I had concrete information that he was going to a covered league and I did nothing about it. Yet, like, in the past, I'll see like one cryptic tweet on Twitter and I'll be like, let's buy 3 of them.
Oh, mate.
Like, it could happen.
We've all been there. I mean, you were in such a privileged position because usually you see the news on Discord or on Twitter and it's already way too late. They've already been snapped up. The price is already through the roof. I remember last year watching Nick Pope like dislocate his shoulder live, and I was too slow. I was too slow to snap up the backup Dubravka. So the Sorare world is quick. And now, of course, but I've made it a little bit easier for you, Simon. I have sent you my Tolgay Arslan. I'm no rare contender boy, so I've gifted you my rare Tolgay Arslan. So you can at least fill that contender-sized hole that you've had for like 4 or 5 weeks with the unfortunate injury of
it's exciting. I mean, Kim Sung-young, who might never be seen again, with just a minor Achilles injury, which is fantastic. But the good news, Alistair, is my housemate, he's such a fan of this Tolgay Arslan because he's gotten deep within his inner thigh, which you would have to say would bring anyone close together on a spiritual, emotional, and physical level. And he's going to buy a Sanfrecce jersey. So while I can't wear mine because it's about 5 sizes too small, my 6 and a bit foot mate is going to buy a 5XL jersey, so he can also wear a Sanfrecce.
Yeah. Tell him to go big. Tell him to go as big as humanly possible. I love it. I mean, have you introduced him to the concept of Sorare NFTs? Have you got your referral link out there? I mean, if he buys 5 Tolgay Arslans, that's you could get a nice 60-cent card referral award. Pretty good. Making money.
Yeah. I could still leverage the situation. I might have missed the boat on the transfer, but exciting times ahead. I must say, another thing that's happened in the break is since we last recorded, I won a division. We never actually got to record anything about that.
I mean, that would have been the end of the podcast, I think, if you'd won a division. Huge news. I mean, you've been close before. You've had some heartbreaks, and then finally it happened. I mean, now you of course you won Division 3. You probably could have won. You could have come second in Division 1, wouldn't you? So still pretty good. But you won Division 3. The stars aligned. I remember in the same day, I mean, let's just regale everyone. It's the classic Sorare chat. You were sending through, updates. Sho Sasaki, he's dust now. I can't believe, he's never going to reach the heights. All of a sudden, he's on like 78, 85 with just AA. Like, he's absolutely crushing it. You were top of the world. You were sending through text like, you come at the king, you best not miss. Sho Sasaki is back, baby. Sure enough, last minute concession, breaks the clean sheet, loses 10 points. Simon's furious. He's fuming. He's sending through text messages. Fuck Sorare. I'm quitting. God damn it, Sho Sasaki. Why does this always happen to me? I'm cursed. He went from like 85 to 75. And of course, me, the forever optimist, the Sorare little bitch boy, I'm just like, no, it's okay. You could still do pretty well. 77's not nothing to be sneezed at. So, please don't leave Sorare. I love Sorare. I was totally bitching out on behalf of Nicholas and the team. But you were down in the dumps, and then all of a sudden, the notifications are coming in. Yuma Suzuki's on fire. You got Kei Chinen. No, we're back. I feel like Kei Chinen is a real throwback. Kei Chinen. I've never actually said his name out loud. Kei Chinen.
Neither, actually.
Kei Chinen is a real throwback to like
a lot. Never said it.
The Fabian Herbers days of like, yep, this guy's a forward, but he's like plays as a CDM. He's just AA non-stop. He's not going to get you those peaks, but he'll get you a 55. And when you're back in the day when you're trying to hit 205 for the lower threshold, that was just dynamite. So Kei Chinen's a real 2019 lower threshold guy. All of a sudden, he's banging out the AA as a forward. He's like on 80 or something. So the books are well and truly turned. And then it was like, it couldn't have been scripted better. Your goalkeeper was the last person to play. You had sight of the victory. You're like, a clean sheet, and I think I might win this. And of course, how does that usually end, Simon? Error led to goal. 5 goals put past him.
Yep, 100% worst defensive display the club's seen in 10 years. That kind of vibe.
We both sat down and watched the game live. I mean, how are your emotions at that moment? How was that 90 minutes for you?
It was one of the most stressful 90 minutes I've ever experienced. I mean, and like, he copped a fair few shots as well. And so, like, that's the thing. It wasn't an Ulster Rathbone clean sheet in the Div 8 Gold Coast League where, you didn't touch the ball for 90 minutes. This was a busy boy. This was, what's that American kid who's, like, playing for Eupen in the Jupiler League?
Slanina.
He's, like, really, like, diamonds under pressure kind of vibes. Like, Makawawa. Maekawa.
Makawawa.
That's pretty good. Maekawa. I'm just realizing for now, though, I've actually never said their names like out loud.
No, their faces well, but that's about it. Yeah,
But God, he made like some crazy saves. I think in like the 75th minute. It was like it was elite, and like counting down the minutes, I was like, it's gonna happen. 92nd, he's gonna concede. Yep. And the best thing about it was like, I think I only got first by, I think in the end it was like 2 points or something.
Yeah.
So close. It got to the point where it wasn't even like, oh no, he can't concede. It was like, don't kick that ball long. Like, we can't even afford a missed pass at this point.
You needed some saves. You needed some diving saves, some good high claims. And, he delivered. Now, Simon, you will be...
There was one point...
Go on.
Oh, sorry. I think there was one point where he got injured and you were just like, just get him off. Stretcher him off. Keep the clean sheet.
I think he just paused for a second. We're like, get him off. Get him off. Oh, man. Now, you will be pleased to know, Simon, I've been doing a bit of snooping. So your reward for winning Division 3 was Now, look, at the time, a boy who was on fire in the Bundesliga 2, I believe. Big Igor Matanovic.
Great name, strong name.
Strong name. But you don't want to reward with like a bitch name like Kei Chinen. Big Igor, he was smashing in Bundesliga 2, but as soon as you opened it, you were like you just, the quick cursory like Twitter search. Yeah, Igor Matanovic on loan from Eintracht Frankfurt. We'll be heading back to Eintracht next year, and you're like, great. So I've just won like bench fodder for the next year. Obviously, it was the end of the season as well, so you couldn't even like plug Igor in for a few games. Although I think you did get a couple of games out of him.
Yeah, this is where the Alistair Sorare optimist came in. He's like, well, actually, Simon, you can get 3 games of utility, and if you play him in the right lineup, it's like, Anyway.
Sorry, is that?
Sorry, I was just saying about how you were saying you could have 3 games of utility. Classic optimist.
Well, absolute optimist. Yeah. Well, I did do a bit of googling on him, mate, and he has been playing the preseason with Eintracht Frankfurt, scoring goals. I think they won a preseason game the other day, like 14-0, and he scored like 3 goals. And I even went to the lengths of like looking into some German forums for Eintracht Frankfurt, and they all think that he's going to be their number 1 striker this year. So you might have won a pretty handy champ boy, to go with all your contender boys for next season.
I was about to say, oh great, cool! I have a card that I can't use. Fantastic. No, that is good. No, very good. Yeah, nice.
Oh man. Well, I think if he does start for Eintracht Frankfurt, at least you'll be able to sell him at a pretty decent price because he is a champ boy, and as we all know, everything's all about champ these days. Which I guess, look, we've been talking about utter nonsense for about half an hour now. We should probably talk about Sorare, I suppose. So, how much have you been keeping on top of it? I mean, you've been playing your Tendy boys. You're just got your Asians running out every week. Have you been paying attention to anything? Have you been planning? What has your Sorare life been over the last couple of months?
It's been a bit of a detox. Rolling out the Asian boys, still been putting in like training lineups, getting some XP, which is nice. But in terms of planning ahead, I won somebody and I sold it. I won like I think like a Danish goalkeeper.
You did, yeah. That's right. You've been doing well. You're doing real well.
I had a little patch where when it rains, it pours. And then I sold him, which I feel like was a good idea because he immediately like conceded 8 goals on debut. So I've got like €90 there. So I do have, which is absurd because like that was like a tier 1. But
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, rewards are going to.
I don't know. I'm just content with my Japanese boys at the moment. But I think it's becoming pretty clear that we sort of always knew that like probably do need to dip the toe into other leagues to get some of those like higher ceiling guys.
Totally. I mean, I think you've got some good pieces there, but as we know, you've got some real weak links. So let's talk about kind of what we've missed. Let's do a quick recap. I mean, Essence is coming, Simon. Essence is upon us.
Essence.
Have you won any Essence yet in Rivals or anything? No Essence.
Yeah, I think I won like 5 Essence.
Okay, there you go. So, I mean, you'll be very pleased to know, Simon, that as of, I think, next week, or maybe the week after, they are adding Essence to the reward boxes. So, your chances of getting level ups have decreased immeasurably. I opened a few level ups myself this morning, and I'm right there with you on team fuck level ups forever. Now, a lot of the talk in like the Sorare community lately, obviously, they've just released the new unopened cards. Have you seen those? The condoms? You know a thing or two about unopened condoms. Diesel, fucking.
Mine are normally open, mate. Mine are normally open.
Open and then discarded in a sneaky manner.
Yeah,
but yeah, no worries. I'm just opening it now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's a new season.
That's how it normally goes.
It's a new season, Cecilia. So, first of all, what do you think of the like? Of this, what do you think, babe? It's Ki Sung Young. What do you think of the like? I don't think we really got to talk about it. The change that's coming, the change that's a brewing in season versus classic. All-star cap modes are all going away very soon. Obviously, you're deeply entrenched in the classic realm. I don't think you're going to be splashing too much cash on in season as it stands, but now you kind of like limited to contender. You really, I mean, the Essence brings in that factor of like the progress bar, which I think for you is kind of perfect. If you can just be like racking up some Essence, crafting the odd card every couple of weeks, every couple of months, whatever it might be. Like, how do you feel about this transition? And not like, do you want to try and like deepen your contender boys or go into some other leagues? How are you feeling about the transition?
I think I want to thrust deeper into contender, but I think I need to pull out in the limiteds
Ooh,
because once
this is
the
all
All
very
Star is
sexual.
gone, I'm I'm ru-
Especially you haven't
I'm
got that
running
condom. You
boys
better be, you
from
better be pulling out.
yeah. I'll be pulling out because I've got boys. I've got some Japanese boys. I've got boys scattered right across the globe from my
Too many
travels.
boys. Yeah.
You know, American goalkeepers, Japanese defenders, Belgian midfielders, um, English strikers. So uh, limited, it's a little bit easier, I guess, to move pieces and not be as financially committed in.
Mm.
But I mean, look at me, Alistair. I don't even. My finger clearly hasn't really been on the pulse. I can't see me doing any like huge change into becoming a challenger boy anytime soon.
No. Okay. Well, I mean, I think you'll be very happy to hear that they recently announced like some changes for the new season, including the clubs that they have licensed, and they've pretty much scrapped like all of La Liga 2. They've scrapped a bunch of like the Turkish clubs that no one cares about. Like I think they're finally righting the wrongs of like, I think we can all pretty safely say that introducing all the second divisions is why we're all poor right now and not rolling around our Lamborghinis. So I think they've cut a bit of supply, but Tendy boys, the contender division is still very competitive. You've got Russia in there, I think you've still got Bundesliga 2, obviously the Asian boys, Croatia, all that kind of stuff. So, but I think the essence side of things is going to make life a bit easier for you. But yeah, I can't remember where I was going with that. But are you going to spend more money on Sorare this year, Simon?
We'll see. We'll see if I keep winning. So far, I'm actually winning a bit, so I can been able to put a few pieces in place. I'm slowly just like rotating around my room right now, just to avoid. Oh, see the glow. So like, if you just notice me and my backdrop slightly shifting every 5 minutes or so,
I do
I'm
like that you
actually
kind
on
of
an
look like
axis
you're on a
with the
ship.
sun.
You're kind of like swaying from side to side, like you're riding the high seas. I like
Yeah,
it. I like the vibes you're bringing
yeah,
this year,
I
Simon.
am. I am. But thanks, man. I appreciate it. I mean, you started the podcast making fun of my hair, my face, but
Hey,
we're slowly building back up the brotherhood.
through the Dark Knight.
What about you? Because you like to switch things up. You've been a blue boy for a little while now. Are you dipping the toes back in the rares? What are your movements?
Oh man, I'm pretty much. I think I've,
Let
I've
it all out. Come on.
I'm at a point now where I think I've just completely lost the plot. I made the move to Super Rares thinking I was a genius. It's just gotten progressively worse and worse. I'm just watching the prices go down and down. I'm trying to sell Super Rares, and everyone's like, "No, no way." But I keep buying them, Simon. I keep buying more Super Rares. I keep like putting, I'm regularly putting a bit more money on the platform because this year I kind of just want to have a bit more fun with Sorare. You know, build some teams, buy some players I want, especially now that things are so affordable, I guess. And I can just keep buying. Like, I made it my mission to like resurrect the careers of all my favorite boys that I've previously sold as rares and buying them for like a tenth of the price in super rare. So some of my recent additions, I've got myself a Dusty Dusan Tadic. I mean, as a super rare. If you would have told me as a young 12-year-old boy that one day I would have had a super rare Dusty Dusan Tadic, I would have just about exploded with glee as a young 12-year-old boy. And I was exploding a lot as a 12-year-old boy. Now, I've also bought a Mike Tresor super rare. I mean, God knows what's going to happen with him this year, but my thinking is like, I liked him at Genk. Burnley are in the championship now. Who knows? Could be a bit of a renaissance. I bought a Jordan Larson super rare for like $80. I couldn't believe it. I mean, here's a man who crushed it in Russia about 5 years ago and has just been terrible ever since. But I have faith, Simon. I have faith that his career is just about to turn around. He's in Denmark now. I mean, surely, if the last name like Larsen, he's ready to just thrive in the Danish, the brisk Danish outfield. He got an assist on the weekend, so he's back now. So I expect to sell him for an ETH in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I just keep buying
Did his
fucking
price
super
jump up?
rares. No, of course not. No one's buying super rares,
But
Simon. I'm
what?
buying stuff that cannot be sold.
Except for you. You're single-handedly keeping the super rare market alive. But that's the thing. What's the plan? Okay, Mike Tresor, starts for Burnley and he's fine. No one wants him though. Like, what are you going to do with him?
I don't know, Simon. This is where I know that I'm doing the wrong thing, because let's say Mike Tresor like kicks off, he gets a couple of 70s, he's playing well. No one's going to buy him off me, and if my team does well and I win, I can't sell the reward. There's no more thresholds anymore. I'm playing classic, so I can't win cash. So I'm basically burning my money right now. But I just love super rares so much. I'm a blue boy at heart. My veins bleed completely blue. I need to get that checked out. But I just love it. But I am going to buy some rares. Now, this is my grand plan. I have a Heung-min Son super rare sitting in my gallery. Now, it's probably the only super rare that has any kind of value whatsoever in my gallery. I did dabble with the idea of like buying a bunch of champion guys to go with him. But everyone's thinking about champion. I know the guys I'm up against. I'm not going to fucking win anything in champion with super rares. So my thought process is, if I can just hold my Heung-min Son till the right moment, sell him into the hype. Hopefully someone wants, he's the best Premier League forward, I think, pretty undoubtedly. And there's a Premier League only competition coming up. If you want to play that as a super rare player, you really have to have a Heung-min Son, and I've got one of 20 that exist on the platform. So my plan is to kind of sell him, bring some ETH in, and then just go. I could put it into my child's college fund, but I'm probably just going to spunk it all on some nice rares, really nice rares, lovely rares. So I still want to keep my super rares.
Next week, but
no, I mean it's the milk factory will shut down. My wife is going to shut down because I won't be feeding her. We won't have any money. Super rares are basically my passion project, Simon. I just do it for the love of the game. And hey, if one day super rares become in vogue again, then I'm a genius. But I've lost all hope of that happening. But I am going to buy some nice, tasty rares so that each week I at least feel like I'm moving in some kind of positive direction and not just completely wasting all of my money.
Tasty rares, who are you thinking in the rare front?
I'm thinking like Mike Tresor. He's probably going to have a big bounce back season this year at Burnley. Jordan Larson, I mean, he's got to turn it around, doesn't he? Just some of the old classics.
He's going to just buy their super rare and rare, become the number one collector of all the nostalgic pieces.
That's it. I'm following the Lardinho, vertical stacking strategy.
Can you provide me an update on what was old mate who kept like stabbing people and doing drug smuggling?
Quincy.
What was his name?
Quincy Promise.
Is he still rolling around?
I believe he's trying to get back to Russia to play. So, inside knowledge here, boys, but, maybe go and pick up a couple of Quincy Promises. This fly is killing me. It's just killing me. Yeah, I mean, Quincy, he's one that I've got to buy. I noticed that my Xavier Mercier retired over the off-season, so that's not good.
Oh, no.
So some of my favourite boys really let me down.
1 year of utility.
Yeah, but hey, I've
Would
now...
you get like one season, if that?
I got about 4 games of him. He did terribly. Cost me a few thresholds, actually. Yeah, I'm sticking with my age-old strategy of like buying old guys who play in backyard farmers leagues around the world and just dominate. I've got my Darwin Quintero still. I've got my Daniel Wass. I've pretty much got a full Brondby stack, which I'm pretty excited about. But yeah, I don't know. My super rares are looking pretty bleak, but I'm planning on going and just buying some really nice Premier League boys. Just maybe sticking to that. I don't know. It's probably not that smart because I'll be up against every other dickhead who wants to play Premier League, but I'll be having fun.
Have you been keeping your finger on the pulse in terms of Sorare news over the break? Like, are people still making podcasts? Are people still talking about Sorare? Or is it just when I stop paying attention, everyone else does too?
I think that's pretty much it. I think we're single-handedly bringing back the boom. I mean, Nicholas is tweeting out some pretty like bold shit. When Nicholas gets on a bit of a tweet storm and he starts being like, "Motherfuckers, Sorare, bitch!" He gets a bit bolshy. I've been noticing that, which is always a good sign. He's like 2024 is coming. So I'm pretty excited by Nicholas's activity. Now, Simon, did you see the latest kind of Sorare hubbub? Is Panenka Football Manager. Have you seen this?
No,
No.
news to
Okay.
me.
So I think like yesterday, a guy on Twitter has come out and he's like, I'm launching a new football game called Panenka. And their like opening tweet was, our founder, Jeff or whatever, lost $150,000 playing Sorare. So that's why we created Panenka, the new football game. So he's basically like just pissed off everyone in the Sorare community as his way of like trying to bump up some promo for
Launching.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, oh, it's not going to compare to Sorare on as a fantasy game. Like Sorare's a great fantasy game, and he's like, here's the thing: we're not a fantasy game. It's a football manager game. And I'm immediately like, well, you can't. That's like me saying like, oh, have you lost all your money at the casino? Come and play Age of Empires 2. Like that's you don't like. What stakes are there in a football manager game? You're playing with. I haven't played that much Football Manager, but from what I can gather, it's not a high stakes, lose all your money kind of game, right?
No, it's definitely just like a little bit of fun with mates. No buy-in required, I'd say.
Yeah,
Emotional investment is quite honestly the biggest commitment.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've played fantasy games and stuff, and we've gotten too emotional. But I wouldn't say it's like a safe haven from like losing all your money. So interesting one there. I looked at their website. It is just like, I mean, they're claiming that it's like AI powered football management. Win cash. I don't know how you would win cash unless they're just like fronting. I don't know. Anyway, I'll who knows? This time next year we might be running a Panenka podcast.
True. All right, well, keep an eye on it. Have you been keeping in touch with much of the community? Have you been reaching out to Laird, Black? How are the boys? I've generally been like in a hole for 3 months.
The boys are good. I think the boys are good.
Good.
Reach out to the boys.
Okay,
say hello. They miss you.
Yeah. Okay,
No, I think
cool.
I think we'll get them. We'll get them on the pod soon. We'll have a chat to them. We'll see how they are. But I think I've been listening to the Sorare Data Show. I'll be honest, I haven't been listening to too much other Sorare content just because, I think when you're not making it yourself, you do. You and I both have been pretty cruisy over the off season. It is. I purposely didn't go and buy any MLS boys because I know where that leads. So I've just been running out like Jacob Glesnes and Sergio Busquets and not winning anything. So when you're not winning or really trying too hard, I think your interest level does go down a little bit. But I must say the loins are getting pretty fired up with the European League starting to come back.
It's interesting. Like I follow the MLS on Instagram, and nothing's changed.
No.
Like Cucho Hernandez has been on an absolute tear, but I look at like every game and the scores come through, and I'm like, even after watching this league for 4 years, knowing what we were going to get ourselves into, it's still like impossible to play.
Yeah, the defenders have got worse somehow. Like, I mean, Claudio Bravo used to be a rocks and diamonds kind of guy. He's just rocks now. They're all just rocks. I don't think there's any defender that you could count on in the MLS whatsoever. Goalkeepers don't even get me started. Hugo Lloris, I mean, that Super Rare's done well for me. But yeah, happy to see the back of the MLS and pretty keen to get stuck into the Danish Superliga.
Sorry, I just lost you for a sec. Is Brad Kazan still playing?
He sure is. He'll never stop playing.
Jeez, I remember I sold him like 4 years ago because I was like, he's going to retire. He's 39 years old.
Yeah. So look, I mean, I think this season, I mean, I'd be interested to see how you kind of what your kind of strategy is. I think now that we're podding again, I feel like the fire is going to come back for you. I'm hoping that you'll start to make a few more purchases. I mean, it's never been more affordable than now. You can get some pretty good players for next to nothing these days. Whether you go deep into the limiteds like a little pussy, or whether you stick up some good rares. I mean, you're a 10 boy.
You're right. You're so much cooler. Hard. You're so much cooler being a super rare guy. That's what everyone's talking about, Yalster. They're saying,
I'm broke, but I'm cool.
He's lost like thousands of dollars, but he is a cool boy.
I lost $150,000. I'm going to go and start my own chess game. Now, Simon, I mean, this is not Sorare related, but oh my god, Trump assassination attempt. What do you think? Are you more? Have you got Trumpomania? Are you voting for Trump in the upcoming election, Simon? People want to know. We don't want to get political on this podcast, but god damn it, are you voting for Trump or not?
Trump till I die, baby. No, I mean, I still am in a little bit of like disbelief at what happened.
You're a conspiracy guy.
I will say this. Yeah, like metal. What do you call it? Tinfoil hat, maybe. I will say this: of all the the devastation, obviously there was some. I think someone died and all that. Whether it was set up, whether it was real, I tell you what was cool. That photo of him like holding up the fist with the flag and like a bit of the blood. I was like, okay, that's pretty dope.
Say what you want about the man.
Regardless of what
that's some gangster shit.
Regardless of what you think about the man, I got to give it to him. That was pretty cool.
Now, look, I mean, personally, look, if Trump takes office, God forbid, if he gets wind of Sorare, Trump is going to be good for super airs. He's a super air boy, 100%. He's a unique boy. He's a top-down, fuck the pause kind of guy. So, first name on the ballot this year, Trumpomania 2024. Stay tuned for more political insight from Simon and Alistair from Australia.
A couple of Australians. We really do provide the best. No, it was great.
Love it.
It was great. America is such a hilarious country.
Now, what else is going on? I mean, I tell you what, I never thought I'd say these words, mate, but I am excited for the Olympics. As a man like I said, my life is now milk production levels and the Olympics, basically. Because I'm up at all hours now, Simon. I'm up from 2 till 4. I'm cooking lasagnas in the middle of the night. There's been nothing on TV to watch. I can't wait for the Olympics to get going so I can watch some, javelin or some, BMX. Watch some guy from Turkmenistan just crush the Greco-Roman wrestling. Like, I'm excited. I don't know about you.
The last time I was excited about the Olympics was during lockdown where we couldn't leave our house and all we could do was watch the Olympics.
That's me, basically. I'm pretty much in lockdown right now. I'm in baby lockdown, so the Olympics couldn't come quick enough.
Yeah. Do you think, would there be any scope for a fantasy sport game based around the Olympics? Just a 3 weeks intensive winner takes all?
Like building your gallery over the course of 4 years, trying to scout the next best hammer thrower. I'm hearing good things about Yuri Plejevak from Croatia.
I lost $150,000 on Sorare, so I've started this Olympics game.
Have you got a favorite event? Have you got like event that you like to tune into in the Olympics? Have you got a favorite?
Ooh. I kind of like the rock climbing event. They just like go scoot up the wall.
It is pretty good, yeah. A little Spider-Man event. It's funny, the Olympics, isn't it? Because it's just rich kids, isn't it? Like you don't. Who dedicates their life to being like the world's best shot putter? Like you got to have some leverage behind you. You got to have some rich parents.
In saying that, I did see a video today in the Australian Olympics back in 2000. Funnily enough, there was some program where they were trying to get like disadvantaged countries and like give their athletes opportunities at the Olympics. And so it was a guy who had never seen a swimming pool, and then like 3 months before the Olympics was like training in a hotel pool, and then had to like swim at the Olympics. But like he couldn't even, like he barely got to the end. Like he actually like stopped, like almost had to lean on the lane rope.
Yeah, I mean there's there's an initiative. Let's give people from struggling countries, like, let's get them to the Olympics. How about a trade? How about you teach them how to do plumbing? Like, let's teach this guy how to swim, so once every 4 years he can come last in the Olympics. Yeah, good one.
And I feel like, look, I'm all for participation, but maybe we should just keep the Olympics at a, elite level. It's not really a participation kind of vibe, is it?
No.
And respectfully, maybe don't, if you're going to do that initiative, don't pick the guy from the middle of Africa and be like, you know what you should do? You should do the swimming. Like,
yeah. I think they need to do away with all of the individual events. Like I think it's just crazy that someone's just really good at javelin. Like that's their life, is just throwing a spear as far as possible. Like the decathlon really should be the only event. Like they should have I don't know what the thon version of like 25 sports is, but they need to have one where one athlete does everything. And it's like throw the javelin, do a kickflip, you might struggle in the equestrian events, but then you come into the sprints. Like all the athletes should do all the sports, and then you're truly an Olympian then if you can like master the art of everything.
I don't mind that. It's a little bit like the golf where it comes down to like the last day, and it's like he's got the 2-shot lead, but it's a tricky back nine.
He's got the 2-shot lead, but man, he sucks at high jump. Like. I would,
the big sumo dude, just like
people would froth the Olympics so much harder if that was what it was. If it was like, right, each country sends 10 people to compete in everything: synchronized swimming, diving, the rock climbing. You do 10 best athletes, just some jack dudes that you send over there to crush everything.
There's almost like a reality TV show in that. Maybe that's been done.
Let's start one.
I don't know.
Survivor
I
Olympics.
Like that.
Yeah.
Survivor Olympics, yeah.
It would be so good.
You might lose some in like some of the more dangerous events, but like you get that, right?
What are the more dangerous events? Hunting? Bear wrestling?
Well,
they've been out in a lot of sports.
They have, but like, if you put someone who is maybe their preference is high jump, you put them in the sumo, could end badly for them. Or you put the sumo in the marathon.
Yeah, he's going to be awful. Yeah, and we're looking for the complete athlete here. If that's not what the Olympics is all about, I bet you those Greek dudes like 300,000 years ago, like they were doing everything. They weren't just like, oh, I'm really good at the triple jump. They were throwing themselves into everything. Have you seen Greek dudes from back then? They looked amazing. They could do it. They could do it all. Real men.
And, I mean, this shows. True. I mean, this shows my ability to link Sorare to everything. But the beauty of Sorare and football is, we care about Division 2 German players, right? Like in the grand scheme of like footballers, if you rank them, Igor Matonovic is nowhere near on that list. But for us, he's important because in the football world, he's somewhat relevant. You've got to feel for these athletes, like you touched on the javelin thrower. It's even like sprinters. Like sprinting is probably the cooler of the events at the Olympics. If you're not finishing first, no one knows who you are.
If you're not first, you're
like
last.
If you're the best javelin thrower in the world, only the dads who are awake at 2 a.m. in the morning are going to watch your event, and even then they still won't care.
No, it's got to be a tough life being a professional javelin thrower. Like, you got to really throw it. You got to be one of those guys that like throws it so far that it, like hits a cameraman and everyone's like, holy shit, for like 10 minutes. But you're not, what sponsorship deals are coming from the javelin guys? Elbow
if you could do any
supports.
If you could do any event, obviously you think you can do everything. You put yourself in goal.
I probably could,
what would be the event? Do you think? What's the event you think you'd choose?
If I just had to like try one cold, like
you've been plucked from the middle of Africa. You're rocking up for the Olympics.
What's my natural predilection for Olympic events? Ooh, it's a tough one. Probably the pole vault. I reckon I could give that a good crack. Can you imagine? Just
all right, there.
He's never done pole vault before. He's from a disadvantaged background in country Queensland, Australia, and we've given him a pole and we've sent him to the Olympics to change his life. Here he goes. Oh fuck. Oh, that's bad.
That's good. Oh.
I'm just picturing it. I'm just picturing exactly how it would go. It would go so badly. There's no way I'm flinging forwards and over the... I'm going every way but forwards. I'm going backwards. I'm going to the side. And then there's just that horrible, 3 seconds of me just suspended in midair. And like, oh no, he's not going to land on the mat at all. Oh. Really warms the heart. You can change this boy's life.
Good.
Now he's a paraplegic. See him at the Paralympics.
If we can get 100 likes in this video, please, we'll make us do a pole vault.
If we get 100 likes in this video, I will go to the Olympics and enter in the pole vault. I'll do it. Oh, shit.
Oh, that's great. Fantastic.
Oh, cool, man. All right, well, look, I think we've covered everything there is to cover. That'll do us for Season 3. No, look, I'm excited for the new Sorare season. I'm excited to see how you adapt to the new way of life. I think Essence is going to change your life. I feel like, you're never going to be up there with the big boys with the big budgets, but Essence will mean that you're still playing for something every week. You're not playing for fucking level ups. I do think you need to start expanding your gallery a little bit, start flashing a bit of that cash. I mean, with that mustache, you must have a bit of cash stored away. Oh, that reminds me. You are saving a bit of cash at the moment because you're going to the States at the end of the year. So shout out to any of our our viewers in the States. I think MLS will be done, but I think it's like football season.
Playoffs, I think.
College football season.
Yeah. Definitely football season. Yep.
Where are you going? Let's see if you can. Maybe some of the Sorare community can host you. Where are you headed?
Well, going like Dallas, Austin, Nashville, Memphis, I think, New Orleans, all sort of down the southern areas, and Orlando, I think, as well.
Cool. And you're going with your mum?
Not as cool, but a nice little wholesome family trip.
Wild boys trip. That's very sweet.
Well,
all right. Well, if
so
you're,
far, she's got on her list like checking out Dolly Parton's tea house, so it's going to be some crazy tea drinking. But
she's got some good, tea drinking. A couple of caffeinated boys.
All the savings
across
going.
The States.
I'll have a tea at 10 a.m. I don't care. I'm crazy like that. But yeah, all my funds are going towards that because America is expensive. Holy heckers.
I mean, you're going about it all wrong, Simon.
Ridiculous.
You need to be buying these condom wrappers. You need to be playing in season, and you just win the cash, and then all of a sudden you'll have more cash that you know what to do with. Bingo. There's double your money for your America trip. So if I was you, I'd just take that money you're saving for America, save that money that you're going to spend on tea, throw it into Sorare. You can't lose.
Okay. I mean, I feel like you've said that to me a few times and it's gone all horribly wrong, but I feel like this time it's different.
All you have to do
is win.
It
is different.
All you have to do is win. It's so simple. I don't know what you never listened to me. You listened to me once and see how that went. It went really well. So just win a bit more. Pretty simple. Jesus.
Done. All right. I think that wraps it up, doesn't it?
Mad. It's good to be back, Simon. It's good to be back.
It is.
Yeah. Look, if you're in America and you want to see Simon in the flesh, touch him. He is real. Drop a little comment there. Don't like and subscribe. Don't do that. Ugh, gross. We're going totally organic this year. No liking and subscribing. If anything, dislike this, but leave a comment and tell us where and when you want to see Simon in the flesh. He'll make an appearance.
The best comment might be able to get you can touch my mustache or something.
Ooh, that's a hefty prize. That's better than a Igor Matanovic rare. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap it up. See you, mates.